Hello and welcome to the stream. Let's see. Let me turn off the comment from the last one. Okay, it's going to be on for a second until I select another one. But welcome to the live stream. No countdown today. I reformatted my hard drive, reinstalled everything on my computer because it's been like 4 years of just junk and stuff added up. And I think it's good. Every once in a while, give it all a clean out. Before we get into today's topic, I put Apple and Lady A, Amazon's assistant, plus delays and issues going on. I figured let's talk about some of that because AI assistants, adding it to smart assistants is not going well. But things like ChatGPT, X's Grok, Gemini, Gene, one of our channel members, uses Amazon or Microsoft Copilot. These things are doing well, but the move to try to incorporate them is not going well. So we'll talk about some of the issues with that. First, I do want to give a shout out to our channel members. If you didn't know, I do have channel memberships. Let me just bring up a video to show you, or even if you go to this live stream right now, you can see, let's view my channel, and I'm live. Let's just mute that. I had two things I want to bring up. But if you go to, my little stream deck isn't working because I reformatted. You'll see down here there's a join button, and let me just put a comment up and turn it off for a second. There's a join button. If you want to become a channel member, it is $4.99 a month. And there are member streams that I do every Saturday morning at 8:15 a.m. It's a little more of the, it's a little variety going on, but just a smaller group happening. And talk about all different stuff during that. So and it's helped support the channel. So I definitely appreciate that. Another thing before going into the chat, I want to point out, and I have a reminder for myself because there's 2 more days left to jump on this deal. Aqara is, let me go over here. And actually, let's back up for a second. Open that up in a new tab. And open that up in a new tab, and I will paste this into the chat. So I've pasted links and a discount code for Aqara's cameras and video doorbell that's on sale right now. And part of the reason I'm posting again is I've seen in my affiliate stuff that this thing has done. A lot of people are enjoying this deal going on. I still have mine hooked up. I'm not going to put my Ring camera back up or my Ring video doorbell. I'm going to just stick with this one. I'm trying to get my wife trained up so that she gets used to not having Ring. That's on sale. Plus you can get 20% off this. So that would knock it down to like 105 if you use the affiliate code. And I'm bringing this up again because that Sunday is the last day to use that. The big one that people are enjoying are is the G100 camera. And this is 15% off. So with tax, it brought it down to $32. So just letting you guys know there's that discount code in there. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people jumping on this deal, which was kind of surprising to see how many people have jumped on it. But I'm thinking I got to order 2 more while they're down at this price. And I'm going to use my own discount code. But anyways, let's jump into the chat. Starting off with Jack Steiner, Rhett, one of our channel members. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And Bill, got a question on tech? You're at the right place. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you. And Bill is definitely, he helps keep this stream on track. One of the things that you get with the membership is a member Discord. So if you like there's the live stream chat there, and Bill's great and give me a heads up and helps speed up the chat. Alan's great though too, is great too. William, good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Wow, you got a lot going on. Channel for fans, a lot going on now. So I'll put up some of these posts, but won't read them all because try to keep the stream a little tighter now. But yeah, you got a lot happening. Good morning, John. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Nick. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I don't know if I told you, I found out why my PoE cameras won't work. Because my Starlink router that's outside, I haven't rebooted it in 6 months. Not let the other now. Oh, okay. Now everything is working great. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad it was a router reboot that took care of you. I know that was a problem for a couple of weeks. So, and if you guys don't know, PoE cameras are cameras that are powered over Ethernet. So there's different devices out there that have PoE. That means power over Ethernet. So you plug in an Ethernet cable and it provides the power and the data. And that's going to give you the quickest access to a camera. And often, you know, you could do 24-hour recording, especially if you pair it with something else. So thank you, John, for the update. Brian, good morning. Thank you for being here. William, our other William here in Canada. Our friends to the north. Thank you very much, William. I appreciate it. Alan, another channel member. Thank you for being here. Adam, welcome. Soggy, Illinois. But wasn't there some wind problems recently? Bad storm. John, I heard that Apple's going to come out with the new HomePod Mini. It will have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth in it. Now, the thing with that, the problem with Apple and Bluetooth is that it doesn't become accessible for everything. You know, I believe the Bluetooth is just for its own communication, which, that's Apple's supposed to have a new HomePod Mini that's updated with their chip, their new Wi-Fi chip. You know, they're basically, I think, kicking out Qualcomm technology and stuff and limiting it to theirs. Now, before I continue in the chat, and again, here is the deal. Even if you don't go through my link, there is the discount code G410 Craig and G410 G100. Oh, it's not showing the full chat, the full thing. Why not? Let's see. Woo! We'll just keep changing the size and it won't do anything. Now, Gordon. Hey, Gordon, thank you for being here. Another one of our channel members. I have a SwitchBot 3 hub and I can't switch it to Fahrenheit. The profile changes on the app, but not on the hub. Other changes sync to the hub. I rebooted. Do I need to stand on one leg? That might be the problem, is standing on one leg. Did you check to see if there's any firmware update for it? Because that is odd. For the Hub 3, let me find my Hub 3. There it is. And does it, I know you can change it in the settings. Oh, there's actually a new firmware available right now. Mine says to upgrade. You can change it in the settings, but now under display info. Does that have anything to do with it? If you click on the displayed info, does it, waiting for mine to load, environmental data source, like where are you, do you have it paired up with a sensor? For example, I have the office temperature sensor, I have my outdoor meter, and if so, are those things switched over to, like the outdoor meter, for example, where I could get outdoor temperatures, is that switched over to Fahrenheit? Also, data source, alert conditions to select the alerts you want. there's a notification I'm getting across the top of mine that's saying something about alert notifications. Sometimes, and something to check. See if you're getting one of the messages scrolling across the top of the screen, because it'll say if stuff's out of sync. Like you have to like click there or something to get them back in line. I've had that happen, that the data wasn't matching between the two. And do you want to get that to connect? But yeah, I got to update the firmware on mine and see what the deal is there. So firmware, I'll click on that and I'll just have that update while I'm on the stream. But yeah, that doesn't really make sense. There's part of me that thinks too, if all those other sources potentially for temperature are in line, then I would think about just removing it. Okay, I'm not close enough right now to do it over that. Think about removing it and then add it back in. Adam, I had to break my pledge of no new tech in 2025. My phone died on Tuesday, so I'm now the owner of a Galaxy S25 Ultra. Congratulations on your new phone. I'm sorry you had to purchase one. That always stinks, to have to buy new tech when you're content with what you have. Now, let's dive in. So, there have been some, if you guys didn't know, and this is where I don't understand how Amazon is, and even Apple, are sucking so hard on this AI stuff. Right now, when it comes to Amazon, they were supposed to launch in November 2024 for their Plus AI version. That got pushed to February, and then they actually started sending it out on the 31st of this year. Now, they're saying the web-based version will be delayed to no sooner than July 31st. And if you don't know what the web-based version is, that is meant to compete with ChatGPT or X's Grok, or Gemini, where you can go to a website and do all of your searches. Now, for me, I think that's an important piece to have, because I don't really want to talk to my echoes just to get information. I like to have a more in-depth explanation. Like, for example, I just did a search during the member stream to find out if I could replace the bulb in my projector. And Grok gave me a whole breakdown explaining that it's a laser projector. You can't change it yourself. It has 25,000 hours of life on it. If you did need tech support, here's the phone number for it. If it does have issues, you're going to want to repair, all this information that I would not want to ask my Echo for. Plus, if I ask my Echo, then do I need to go into their app and look at the logs and all that stuff? Where if I use ChatGPT or Grok, I have my history right there to click on, and I can access one of those and go back into questions with that history. So the web-based version, I think, is really a piece that's needed. The thing that Amazon has going for it is that it's free for Prime users. Now, what's hurting people is that there are a lot of people, I've seen a lot of comments with people saying they're missing features and they're reverting back. And apparently to revert back, because I don't have early access, I don't have any Echo shows plugged in at this point. To revert back, you can say Lady A, or, the wake word, end early access. And that'll take you back to the normal version and get rid of the Plus version. But there's things that, users have referred to it as dumber. It just messes up basic items. The voice and verbose responses can bug people. Big surprise that it's a little long-winded. And Older Echo devices don't even support it yet. So if you don't have an Echo Show, it's not gonna help you at all. But one of the things that I've found or that people have mentioned is issues on the music side of things. Like playlists that were working fine with the irregular version have stopped working. Spotify playlists that don't load right. And these are all different notes I've taken down. It'll stop after playing a few songs on or play random tracks. Smart home control is glitchy. Someone said commands like turn on lights for 4 hours fail. Things that used to work fine. Devices like lights or speakers turn on randomly or not at all. Early test also showed over 6 seconds for a responses, which is kind of a lot. And one of the ones I like that I saw is it's chatty or teenage sounding, with some finding it annoying. And this is where I like using Grok, because I did grab a bunch of information from Grok that pulls information from Twitter. So if I bring up Twitter right now, let me change that. That was from the member Discord, which if you become a channel member for $4.99 a month, you get access to that. Safari. So here's an example. I took some notes, grabbed some stuff from Grok. When I clicked on the source, it took me right to this. And there you go. Lady A Plus voice annoying 2025. I think I hate Amazon's new voice. Actually, I know I do. I was with old voice for too long. I found her calming and pleasant. New voice is tinny, abrasive, potentially evil. I find the speaking style extremely aggravating, and this is all stuff that Grok pulled up. Your new update's terrible for autistic people who speak to you on a regular basis. You don't sound like yourself anymore. Forgetting about the sexualized AI for no reason. This app voice gendering feature stupid and limited. So a lot of people aren't enjoying the new updated version. Now, if you've updated, what are your thoughts on it? I thought that would go away. Sorry, leaving that up. What are your guys' thoughts? Has it been successful for you, or are you having issues with it too? Let's go back to the chat. We'll talk about some of Apple's issues going on too. Mark, good morning. Thank you for being here. Oh yeah, the UK. Finally, you guys over your heat wave. Thank you, David, one of our channel members. Good afternoon, Kevin. Thank you for being here. My wife was recently in Florida with my oldest daughter, and they went over to Universal. And Adam... Chaz, the global Lady A outage this past week was truly an eye-opener as just to how much I rely on those routines for lights, doors locking. Makes me think about everything being local. That is one of the benefits of going with an Apple Home. Or if you don't want to go Apple, that's where something like Home Assistant comes in and can work well for you. Home Assistant you could put like one of our channel members, Lawrence, has all of his routines programmed within Home Assistant, and the Echo just serves as nothing more as a trigger. So things that run automatically, you can have those things running in the background. Local control on Apple HomePods is great. You don't need an internet connection to have all your stuff working. And if you have stuff that uses hubs like Lutron Cassetta smart switches, Philip Hue bulbs, all the Aqara sensors, if you have all those plugged into hubs that are connected with Ethernet, then you don't even need Wi-Fi for most things. Like I reset my Wi-Fi routers and I changed the password on them, and everything needed to be reconnected. all the stuff that was plugged into my HomePods or into the router was still working well. David, I have a question about SwitchBot. Do you have the outdoor thermostat sensors? I got a 3-pack. Do you know if I use all 3, does it take the average readings? I think the biggest thing with those sensors is what you pair them up with. If you pair them with, like I only have one of them, one of the outdoor meters, I think they call them. With that, position is king. I thought I had mine positioned well. I tried to put it somewhere where it wasn't too cold, like somewhere in the shade in a dark corner, or touching something that could affect the reading. I actually had a paper clip through mine and just hung it off of something. The problem with where I put it is during the summer, the sun in the morning was kicking right into it. So it was getting a reading of 95 degrees when it was like 68 outside. So I think a lot of it is where you place it. And then with your different hubs inside is what you connect them up to. Like, for example, the Hub 3 or basically any of their little indoor meters, you have to pick what source it grabs it from. So my Hub 3 is set up so that it grabs the outdoor temperature. You could either have you could have it grab the temperature from just online for your area, or you can pick one of the meters to pull from. I don't think it does an average of any kind. It's that information's going to be displayed individually. Like my outdoor meter has the sun kicking in on it right now and is saying 97 degrees. So it is not 97 out. So I definitely need to move that one. So within the app, it's going to show you each one individually. But then what you pair it up to is going to make a difference. John, going to get the Aqara camera. Something I want to put out there is that with that camera, if you use it with Apple Home, it'll go from 2K to 1080p because Apple Home is capped out at 1080p. So the camera doesn't handle 2 different resolutions, which personally I don't mind because I like the Apple Home integration. I like that if there's motion on it, it'll pop up in the corner of my Apple TV. I like with the Apple Home, I could leave stuff playing continuously in that corner if I wanted to monitor it, and it doesn't time out. So I don't mind with that. Let me see. Maybe SwitchBot could. I'm confused on that. Maybe SwitchBot couldn't be bothered to add Fahrenheit as it's only the U.S. that uses it. That's funny. Yeah, and where's it pulling the temperature from for your source on the Hub 3? And did a power up, did a restart do you any good with that? William, just for everyone's interest, I've been having serious problems with all my Matter over Thread devices going non-responsive after testing all devices, removing devices from HomeKit. Now, William, something I'd like to point out, something to look at, and this is where I've had issues. My house was working beautifully until like all my Thread devices were working great until I introduced the Aqara Hub 3. And what the problem is that Aqara Hub generated its own Thread network. And it seemed like those two things were conflicting. So luckily with the Aqara stuff, you can go into the settings and you can move the thread over to another Thread network. So for the doorbell that I just put up, the G410 that I put the link to, I went into the settings, I took it from the Thread network it generated and moved it over to the Apple Home network. So I've had to do that with the Aqara G5 Pro camera because it was generating its own Thread network. Had to do that with the Hub 3. So if you do have multiple thread networks, see if that can be switched over to your Apple Home network. But yeah, that's where I've had conflict before, and I think that's part of the reason I was having an issue with my smart lock. It was using Thread 2, and it's like the two networks were competing or something. It was really annoying. Re-adding the device to HomeKit, nothing worked until I removed all my Eve Smart Cocoon plugs. Amazingly, everything came back in HomeKit. Eve Smart plugs caused all kinds of matter over Thread issues. Yeah, now do those somehow support it? I'm glad you got it worked out. But yeah, I feel like Thread is not all it's cracked up to be. It really is kind of annoying. Yeah, that is, I don't know. Like, for example, this bulb behind me is capable of doing Zigbee and doing Thread. I found when I hooked it up just through Apple Home using Thread, response time wasn't as quick. But then when I used Zigbee and paired it up with the Aqara hub, the response time was so much quicker. It was way better going that route. So I feel like Zigbee is one of the best options to go with. Not only the U.S. Uses Fahrenheit, only the United States, Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Liberia, and some U.S. affiliated Pacific nations like Palau and Micronesia use Fahrenheit regularly. Thank you, Alan, for sharing that. I didn't realize all those places used it either. Now, Mario Mercado, welcome. Thank you for being here. Now, let's go. Let's talk a little bit about some Apple delays. One that I was disappointed to hear is, well, a HomePod with a screen isn't going to be happening this year. Apple is not updating their laptops, which I was really hoping to buy a new laptop in the fall. That is waiting till next year. Apple is also waiting for their delaying Siri updates to 2026. So what that's telling me, or my guess with all that, is the HomePod and the MacBook Pros are all going to be needing those AI features to offer value, I think. My guess is since Apple's doing such minor upgrades with chips and their laptops not doing any big redesign, that they're leaning on features and AI features. So that was disappointing. Some of the Apple products being delayed, Siri upgrades, Smart Home Hub, iPhone S17 and the iPad Air, all that usually comes out. They're also delaying, apparently, a Studio Display update. If you guys didn't know, I guess the rumors are pointing to a new Apple Studio Display that is using mini LED, similar to the MacBook Pros. And mini LED is great. It's as close as you're going to get to OLED because you have like 10,000 different zones of backlighting. And if you're looking at something with a lot of black in it, it can dim out a lot of those different zones. And I know there's folks out there that are going to say that a $1,500 Apple display is crazy. It's the best experience if you have an Apple device. It really is. It's meant to run at the resolutions Apple does because they don't use 4K. It's like 5K or some crap. They don't go the standard route. And Apple stuff is, like, for example, my MacBook Pro is some, whatever, 2280 resolution by whatever the bigger number is. Apple runs that at 1440p, which they basically double up the pixels on it. Color accuracy is great. Like right here, I have an LG monitor that it looks good, but no matter how much I tweak it, it just doesn't match my laptop. Where if you use a studio display, it matches well. Speakers in it are nice. I have no complaints. I would more than happily buy the studio display again. So, which who knows? I might be buying that one when it comes out, and then remove and sell my existing one. But overall, it is disappointing that both Siri AI and Amazon, they can't get that right. Like conversational Siri, to be able to just speak naturally is not working still. The integration across apps isn't working. And that's where I think the value has to come in, is being able to access data all over and speaking naturally to it. If you look at Grok, X's Grok, that is amazing when it comes to the to even the language side of things. They introduced their new 4.0, their new Grok 4, and this thing is, on all the benchmarks, it's beating like everything out there now. And in watching their demo, they were doing a voice demo, and they asked it to sing an opera song about Coke, the drink. And it was crazy. It just sang a song in an opera style and wrote its own lyrics. And it was like, wow, that is creative. And then they asked it to sing another verse in a different style. And it just was able to understand normal speaking requests. It acted as if you were typing into like ChatGPT or Grok web-based. So to see that stuff can't translate to smart speakers it's leaving a hole that that you could have one of these companies come in like OpenAI and introduce a voice device that could kick out some of these other that could make Nest hubs and echoes and all that stuff less appealing, especially as people start to use the web versions of these more. Now, let me know your guys' thoughts. Would you be interested in buying a ChatGPT smart speaker? Say it worked with all your smart devices. Would you be interested in replacing your Echoes or even HomePods with a ChatGPT version? If everything else was identical and it was just the voice assistant, would you do that? Or are you attached to your Echoes or HomePods too much for that stuff? John, the new Toyota battery is going to be solid state and will go 1,000 miles before charging, and it only takes 10 minutes to charge. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see that happen. Batteries are the bottleneck of this tech. I mean, if someone's going, or some company is going to change the battery game, and it will change everything for electronics. That's somewhat the idea of you can squeeze the same battery size and it does 10 times the battery life on it. Imagine going back to a smartphone that you plug in once a week, or an Apple Watch that actually lasts more than a day, or anything else. I mean, just keeping the same exact battery life but scaling things down smaller would be incredible. Or like you're saying, John, to go 1,000 miles on a charge would be crazy. Then be more efficient possibly with that stuff. So 2 or 3 times, hey Lawrence, already my morning routine that worked fine beforehand has already failed since upgrading. The good thing is you could revert back relatively easy. Let's see. So sorry to hear that. It's disappointing that from what I'm reading, you get a chattier, less responsive assistant and your stuff that worked already is broken. That's disappointing. I'm very upset with Eve smart plugs that I paid a lot for, 6 of them. On remove from HomeKit, my Matter over Thread devices all came back. Yeah, and that's something to think about with local control and being able to get away from the manufacturer apps. Is like, for example, right now Wemo is discontinuing. Let's see, that's not working right now. Belkin is discontinuing support for most of its Wemo smart home devices. The support will shut down scheduled for January 31st, 2026, affecting the Wemo app, cloud services, and technical support for many older devices. However, some thread-based devices will continue function through HomeKit. So that's some of the stuff. Thread-based, 4 specific thread-based Wemo devices will not be affected by the shutdown. So, going local and being able to still use your stuff. Oh yeah, and this one, let me just click on. Yeah, is the way to go. It really is. Like Adam said, I've been meaning to dive into Home Assistant. Lawrence, one of our channel members, is die-hard to Home Assistant. And with that, when you have Home Assistant compatible devices, you're no longer tied to the app or the cloud. That's nice to be able to remove that from the equation. And you're not at the mercy of some of these companies deciding your stuff doesn't get used anymore. One of the things that is cool that Lawrence has been sharing in our Discord is some of these different companies that you can buy that will work with Hue hubs. So Philip Hue, whether you like them or not, they're expensive as can be, but that hub can be paired up with bulbs from IKEA. You can buy IKEA bulbs and pair it right to a Hue hub. You can buy some of their smart plugs, pair it right to the Hue hub. Third Reality is another company that makes Zigbee devices that can be paired to the Hue hub. So you have some Hue lights, but you could supplement them with cheaper lights from Philip Hue and some of the smart plugs, and you have that local control and won't be tied to the internet. So a web service. It makes sense at times. Companies going, why are we paying for this? Do we really get enough out of this to justify the server space or the people to maintain it? So, but yeah, the Home Assistant seems the problem is Home Assistant hasn't become as user-friendly and the mass adoption where people talk to each other and can recommend it. That's one of the things with Apple features. I know at this point in time, every mother at my daughter's schools know about AirDrop. And Apple, I've never seen a commercial for AirDrop. I've never seen them advertise it. It just becomes word of mouth. Me telling my wife, hey, honey, they have AirDrop, and you send it over. And then she sees the value in it, and then she tells another mother that has no clue, isn't into tech, and says, hey, if you go into your settings, you turn on AirDrop, I can just send you this photo, or I can send you this video quickly. And then that person tells another person. So that's one of the things. Ring. Ring's as popular as it is because of people just word of mouth, and I like stuff from Aqara, but if I mention that, most people would go, what? Huh? Who? But if I said Ring video doorbell, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know Ring. So yeah, that's the tough part is Home Assistant hasn't got that word of mouth yet and become worked in so much that people turn to it. In Texas, we haven't had 100 degrees since May. Wow, hey, good for you guys. Yeah, that's a good point. We usually get some 100+ days, and we haven't had them either. I think we've all sent that heat over to the UK, to places that have no air conditioning. Bill, thank you. 29 minutes. See, perfect example. Bill gave me a heads up. I'm just now seeing that, and I know I'm 11 minutes behind. So I can pick up my pace a little. Bill, Google without Gemini lets me access my smart lights. Google with Gemini running won't control smart devices. At first, you couldn't access texting for hands-free texting either. See yeah, it's I don't get it. I don't get how they just can't connect those dots with smart assistants yet. For as amazing as ChatGPT is, even Apple couldn't just grab that and make it work. Apple apparently is also looking at partnering up with Anthropic Claude, which Amazon is partnered up with Anthropic Claude for their AI, and they can't connect it yet. John, Home Assistant's amazing what you can do with local control. It seems a way that if you're into the smart home, it seems like something we all need to start learning more about. The problem is that you get into there isn't a cheap home assistant hub to make things happen. You end up buying a Raspberry Pi kit. You buy one pre-configured for like 200 and something bucks. And I have a Raspberry Pi that I bought years ago for $99, but I still need to go buy a hard drive that's compatible with it. So you're in for a couple of $100 by the time you get this thing set up. And if you don't really want to dive in and play with it, then you're going to have issues, and it's annoying. Yes, same. I have a 3-pack, but only been using it on Apple Home with SwitchBot 2's hub. I've had the same issue with temp readings. That's why I asked what happens if I use all 3. Yeah, I think you'll just get 3 different readings. Like in Apple Home now, if I go to my office, if I look at climate, it's going to show me, no, that's not what I want to see. But yeah, temperature. If I go to temperature, I'm seeing my thermostat's set at 71. My Hub 3 is seeing 71. The Meter Pro is seeing 72. Another smart sensor is 74. And here I have 5 different things providing a temperature. It's kind of annoying that everything gets broken up. In my bathroom, it's 73. In my bedroom next to the bathroom, 71. It's like, why doesn't it just tell me 72 for the bedroom? Average it. It should be a setting you can do, but kind of annoying you can't. And smart home cameras. Before I read this, I would say the fastest smart home camera that I have is the Aqara G5 Pro. That has the fastest response time. It works on 5 gigahertz. I open that up in either the Aqara app or I open it up in Apple Home, and this thing just pops open quickly. It's expensive. I really wish they would make this without the thread border router and without a Zigbee hub. I'm like, I don't need all that crap in my. I don't need all that in my hub, in my camera. I'd love to see this down to like $75, losing all that crap. But this is my favorite camera. It's a pain to have to power it, to run a hardwire power, but response time's quick. My second fastest camera would be this here, because it also uses 5 gigahertz. It just pops up quick. And then all the rest are about the same speed that are on the 2.4 gigahertz. But just throwing that out there. The G5 Pro would be my favorite camera that I've owned. Hey, Craig, definitely agree with you. But when it comes to cameras and Apple Home integration, Apple should really push their apps to at least 2K. If they did that, they would eliminate other apps. I hear you on that. It would be great if they did do that. Then you wouldn't have cameras that lock off at 1080p like the Aqara G100. But that really would be nice for them to open up. I I think it's a data thing. It's like, yeah, we'll cap it off here. That way we only have to provide. Well, it is being saved into your iCloud account. So what's that 2K footage? How big are those files? Are people going to complain that it eats up too much of their iCloud account? And I still think with Apple and the home, it's kind of a side project at this point. If there was more mass adoption and more people to complain, then it might be worth having a 2K option or a 1080p option. But yeah, I think it's still such a small group at this point. David, like at the moment, my indoor SwitchBot display says it's 23, but the Echo shows sat next to it says it's 18C. Now, is the something with the hub? Is it the location? Like for example, where my hub is, it's if I let the wire hang all the way down, it would be near the receiver of my amp. So if the TV's on and that thing got warmer, then that would affect it, as opposed to like an Echo Show or an Echo or the HomePod even that I have actually next to it that is taking a reading away from that. So just the Zigbee. Yes, Paul has has spread that all over the place. I love it. Do you think the management shake up at Apple's going to speed up their AI development? I hope so. But I don't think so. It's like the dots just can't be connected yet. I mean, Google's not doing it. Amazon's not doing it. It's like nobody's figured it out how to like take text-based chat, GPT and all that, and just connect them. I don't know why that it seems like it shouldn't be this hard, Oh my God, I just spit on my keyboard. John, when is the new iOS coming out? New iOS is coming out in the fall. That's when, with new iPhones, they'll most likely ship with it. Apple Watches at the same time will come with it. Right now, though, you can get public betas. Those, I believe, are announced. Apple public beta. And I'm running the beta of OS 26. I love it. Apple beta. It says coming soon. I thought I saw somewhere. Oh, that doesn't work. Zolotech is a channel I follow. I thought he said it's here, but July is when the betas open up to try all the different ones. I have a developer account, and apparently now I didn't renew my developer account. There was no reason to. You can get a developer account for the beta softwares for free, and you get all the software first. If you only have to pay for the beta software or beta developer account if you want to be able to put apps on the App Store. But other than that, it used to be $99 a year, and now it's free. Do you know of any Thunderbolt active cables that are 15 or 20 feet, 30 feet? No, and I hate it. In looking it up, the longest I saw for Thunderbolt that you could go is like 2 meters. Let's see. I'm going to go to how long of a cable can I run for Thunderbolt 5? Because Thunderbolt 3 and 4 I thought was limited at 2 meters. Passive copper up to 1 meter. Active copper cables 3 meters. Or Thunderbolt 4 active copper. That's what I have. Thunderbolt 4 is only 2 meters, 6.6. And Apple offers a 3 meter, 9.8. Thunderbolt is expected to follow the same. Optical cables, that apparently can. Optical Thunderbolt 5 cables are anticipated to support lengths from approximately 5 meters to 50 meters. I did not know that. As the industry might transition directly from 4 to 5. For the lengths beyond 1 meter, active or optical cables are recommended. See, I love this stuff. instead of a Google search. And one of the things I like too is I could click on this and see what the post is. Cable matters, blah, 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 or that doesn't help me at all. And 25 different web pages to look through and learn more about it. Optical Thunderbolt. Mac Rumors is a site that I use. Thunderbolt 3 begin rolling out in lengths up to 50 meters. So, see, I love this kind of stuff. I do a search there and I learn something. So it looks like Gordon, it would be optical. Look for optical Thunderbolt cables. So this, it's the way to search now. These things are search engines. Google, just going to websites, dead. You know, it's dying. I did that search and found out new stuff without ever leaving the page. So I'm a big fan now of Grok. You're going to, if you do want to use Grok, you're going to want to get the $8 a month premium Twitter. Because with that, I've done a ton of searches and I haven't reached a limit. But Jean, one of our channel members recently, she just now tried it during our member stream and she only got 2 searches out of it for the free version of Twitter. So something to think about. And thanks, Gordon, for asking that, because I might actually look for some optical cables because I've been limited on my setup to my hub because of that. B. Mitch, welcome. Thank you for being here. Is it about time that Apple and Lady A let you use your own wake word? See, I think there's no upside. I think there's no upside for those companies because people are going to pick out stuff that is only going to make it look bad. How many TikToks are you going to hear? Are you going to see of people calling their echoes by names that you don't want to see? But I also think there's the advertising side. Make people think about that assistant by having to repeat it. Or you walk into someone's house and they're talking to their assistant. If they're like, Susie, do this. And they're like, what are you using at that point? But if you hear the name over and over, yeah, John, but what's sad is how much water, electricity it takes a day that AI use. Yeah, that's a good point. There is a video I watched about how Atlanta is, they're just getting beat up. Water. In the story, there was one couple that said their water's going crappy. The electricity rates are so low in Georgia that so many server farms are being built there. It's the corporate electricity rates are so low, where like business electricity rates, where the average person though isn't seeing those savings. And then you risk like rolling blackouts and different things going on. Yeah, that's the toll that these things take. So that's unless it's, like me doing that there, I just stole somebody's water. No, the water to cool these things and, which somebody's got to get that figured out. Microsoft was doing something with their servers, like had a new server set up that helped get rid of some of that. Now, an interesting thing I shared, I thought, on my, where did I put that? A video that I thought was interesting. Let's copy this. Copy message link and post. I saw this video. No, I don't want that. Let me try visit site. There we go. This, and no matter what you think about Elon Musk, I know he's become so polarizing. A guy put out an interview or said that everything that Elon Musk is doing is all things to help get you help with Mars. Massive tunnel complex, solar company for power on Mars, to perfect doing fields of problem, of power. What was it? The Tesla bots. You're not going to be able to put all kinds of humans, but you could put the different bots on there, and they could work outside without needing oxygen. So you could set up a base there. AI to run those bots. There's also battery powered vehicles. And after seeing this, it's like, oh, that's kind of crazy. I thought like the Boring Company, drilling some tunnels that don't seem to have a lot of purpose for people in the U.S. or where they're at. Why do it? But if it's all to help guide you to Mars and be used there, a lot more benefit. William, what Apple and Amazon should do is integrate their features to each other when it comes to AI and voice. Well, and that's like with Thread and Matter, that was all put together by the big companies. It was based on Apple HomeKit and their API, and then other companies added in. But Amazon they're not playing nicely. They're not making Ring cameras that work with Apple Home. It's not just Apple stopping people. So yeah, they need to work together better. It would be in the best interest for customers. I've been beta testing Lady A Plus for about a month now, and it's a massive improvement over standard one using Echo Show G3. Love the object and text recognition ability with the camera. Thank you for sharing that, because I have not heard much good about that, which is disappointing from some of the stuff I've heard. So yeah, that's interesting. The object and text recognition ability with the camera. I have not heard about it on that front. So cool. Glad it's working for you. Craig, I would definitely say when it comes to AI and changing my devices out, yes or no, my ecosystem would have to do it right. And right now, none of them are. That's a big thing though, too. It's like there's not enough of an incentive to move over yet. UK government are offering anyone who changes their car for a new electric one up to $3,000 off. Yeah, well, in September in the U.S., I saw something that the $7,500 credit is going away. Let's see, Gordon had just checked, and they do have Thunderbolt active cables longer than 20 feet, but they're rare and expensive. They suggest going with 3 companies, Corning Cable Matters, and so on. Thank you, Alan, for sharing that. With Home Assistant, I could get Ring devices and HomeKit easily, and they work great. I'm glad to hear they're working great. David tried Home Assistant, but all my devices are Matter. Everything works on Apple. Only thing that doesn't is my Ring cameras. Yeah, and he was saying that Ring wasn't doing much for him. He was getting a preview of stuff, but not the same. The full-on camera. And thank you, Kenny. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Just get yourself a Home Assistant Green Zigbee stick and go for it. I made the change 10 months ago and haven't looked back. Thank you, Kenny, for sharing that. Yeah, Home Assistant Green, and there's Home Assistant Yellow. And isn't Yellow the one that's pretty much all self-contained? I don't know. I turned off AirDrop, fed up of getting random weirdos trying to send me stuff. I have mine set up for contacts only. Contacts only can send it. AI is fighting back. Only a matter of time. I did make a video that nobody watched called they got very low views. I made it because I thought, oh, my Apple Intelligence video did well. People might find this interesting too. Because I found it interesting making it. I'll throw it in here. The hidden dangers of AI that no one talks about. Let's just throw this one in if you want to see it. And with it, I think I did chapters in it. I usually do. Chapters: energy use, water, jobs, the black box problem, biased, weaponized, existential risk, and I put my concerns in there for it. So if anybody's interested, you could check that out. But it really is, I tried to cover the things like the things to think about, like the water side of things, the electricity and all that. So I'll put that in there if anyone wants to know about it. Let's see. And William, when it comes to smart plugs, one of the things that I definitely found that was really reliable, the Eve Matter outlet, and I'm adding more. That's and check out, if you guys do have Hue, check out IKEA, because it's easy to think, oh, cheap IKEA, they make cheap stuff, but IKEA was smart. They made their stuff to work with Philips Hue. So you buy one of their bulbs, complement your Hue setup. And that was at a point where Philips Hue was one of the only games in town. I was listening to the Vergecast, and Jen Tooley, I don't know, successful Go Lady A Plus to make routines and had a lot of success controlling smart home devices. Cool. I'm like, I guess I only hear the people complaining. Home Assistant Green and Zigbee stick cost me $120. Cool. I'm glad it wasn't that much. The thing that I was hoping to get my Samsung T5 drives to work with it since I already had some, but you can get the enclosures and a small SSD, and it's like $30, but I got lazy and didn't do it. Since I had Home Assistant for 6 months, it's got a lot friendly, not have to know code anymore. Good. I need to do it. It's time and energy, time and money. Everything is time and money. Does it cost you money or does it cost you time? Anyone have Ring cameras, please check your authorized device settings. Yeah, that David had posted a warning during on our member Discord that there's a Ring bug going on. Daughter's dance is going well. She's done for the summer, but she's helping out at dance camp as kind of a counselor / helper during the day. That she's loving it. She's all about the dance. 10 dance classes a week. I mean, the kid loves it and works hard at it. She's now on the competition teams. Hey, Blake, welcome. And Blake, man, he's been one of the guys that helped videos and help knock out a bunch of videos. So thank you, Blake. We got to talk at some point. Question, Craig, when it comes to indoor cameras for monitoring your home, which ones would you recommend and why? I use the Aqara cameras. And the big reason, I don't use any of their cloud stuff. I don't want anything to do with anyone's cloud stuff. But for Apple Home, I like them because they work with Apple Home. They have local storage. And just to show you guys, let me change this over from Safari to Home. I like having all my stuff contained here. What is, see, there's my G100 outside, inside, living room. Got some decorations that fell down for my daughter's birthday. Kitchen setup. You see all these things are popping up. There's my daughter making some breakfast, I guess. Getting ready. She's going to sleep over tonight. And I can't show that one because that has an address on it because there's a box in front of it. G5 Pro. This one pops up quickly. Here's the G410. And one of the reasons I like them is that, they were one of the first. They were one of the first. Before getting their cameras, I was using their sensors, and their sensors are quick. I found their motion sensors are as fast as Philips Hue. And if you don't know, motion sensors and stuff and have a cooldown period. Like if you use an Echo Show for motion, it takes 7 minutes before it'll check again. And like Philips Hue and Aqara motion sensors are like 45 seconds. You might leave a room and go back in it and it turns the lights on again for you. So all their sensors were affordable, quick, and worked with Apple Home. And they use Zigbee, so they are super reliable. So adding their cameras into the mix, worked with Apple Home, super reliable. The worst thing about their cameras was that they have hubs built in. They've had hubs built in, which raise their price higher for features you might not need. That's why the G100, I like it because it's $35. It doesn't have anything but a 1080p or 2K camera. But I'm all about having the smallest amount of different brands in my house. I just want to create an ecosystem of devices that work together. Like, here's an example. Brian, let me go to Automate Your Life. And I love the U100 video or smart lock. It's been almost 2 years now that I've had that lock going on. That's actually what Brian's using on this too. So let me share this and change it back to Safari. He made a video on I fully automated my front porch with these. You can set it up so it recognizes your face and will unlock the door automatically because they are the same company. So there's features you're going to find within the app. So, if they ring the doorbell or just the camera itself from the doorbell sees your face, it unlocks automatically. So I like that kind of stuff going on. Gordon, iOS 26 public beta is available July 23rd, but it will still not wash your car. Love it. That's awesome, Gordon. Yeah, so July 23rd is the date to look for. I want the new iOS 26 beta on my iPad. That is awesome. It really is. iOS 26 is awesome. It turns your iPad into a computer for real. See, I'm only 10 minutes behind at this point. I'm catching up. The iOS 26 beta is really it's cool. You're not limited when it comes to window size. You can drag windows anywhere you want. You have a menu bar at the top like you would find on a Mac. It really turns the iPad into a Mac-like device. So a lot better shot of being a computer alternative. And I know like someone like my mother, she's been all iPad based forever. It's not like she's not doing a lot of different stuff on it, but for most people, it can cover things now. And once they add that, it really does it really opens up a lot more. I love with iOS 20 or iPad OS 26, like things that used to be hidden under 3 dots, now you have a menu bar up top. So you could just kind of swipe down and you're like file, save, edit, like all different menu options. So it's made stuff accessible, but still out of the way. Which camera do you use right now for the live stream? I am using an A6600, a Sony camera. The key, it's $1,500 with the lens. I think it's like $1,800. But the key with it is, let me go back. And this, I want to share this because this is really the key to doing this. It is a cam link. There we go. Cam link is this device right here will take HDMI in and will turn it to USB. So it doesn't work with streaming devices because like I could show you everything on my Apple TV through that, but once I hit play, the screen goes black on it. But this allows you to, like it says in here, I purchased 4 of them over the years, you could capture DSLR, camcorders, action cams, and all that, and just run it through and connect it to OBS, Zoom, Discord, any of that stuff. It just shows up as a webcam, basically. So that's what I'm using at this point, so that I can use the same exact setup that I have for recording my videos. If anybody's interested, let me just drop a link in there. And if you click on this link, what's going on here? If you click on any of the links to Amazon, it will, even if you don't buy this, if you click on it and then you go shopping for, just anything, a couple percentage points go back to the channel at no additional cost to you. It just, like for this, I would get like 2% of the purchase. So what is that? The 80 cents, $1 off of this would go back to the channel. But it all adds up, not to as much as I would like. But if, or this right here, if I just go to Amazon homepage, say get link, and I copy this and I drop this in here, if, like, I can't ask you to bookmark stuff. That's against Amazon's terms. You're not allowed to do that, but like I have a content creator that I clicked on their link and then I bookmarked it. And anytime I go to Amazon, I click on that Amazon bookmark, and that person gets a portion of my, gets an affiliate commission. So I'm like, do I give Amazon 100%? Or do I give them 98% and then someone else gets 2%? So I'm not asking you to bookmark it. That's against terms. I can just take that bookmark and drop it in the chat and walk away. So that's what I'm doing. I'm dropping it in the chat and just letting you know how that stuff works. Let's see. That's one of the reasons I got rid of my Ring cameras. A lot of manufacturers are asking clients to pay a monthly or yearly subscription. Yeah, the subscriptions are getting out of control. Heard that Samsung will be making a new screen technology for the iPhone Fold. Yeah, Samsung and LG, they've been providing screens for years. The thing is, Apple has specs that need to be reached, and there's possibly a creaseless phone, foldable. I don't see how that's going to happen, but it would be nice to see. I would love to see it. So supposedly next year, iPhone's first foldable. You got to look at it this way. Samsung beta test the technology. They make they're up to like the Fold 7 or something. They just beta test for Apple. So they do all of it first, and then when Apple feels like they got it right, then they take it. I heard Aqara is going to make a screen. They do have their control panel coming out. I'm curious. The problem is, it's like, they're a proprietary setup. So, I mean, a lot of them are, but it's where the balance is. Like, I don't know. I like my smart devices. I like a certain separation of things, that no one thing has all of it. Yeah, like, okay, ChatGPT's covering this, but I'm not making giving it any personal information, giving more personal information to Apple, just kind of spreading it out. All my indoor bulbs are Hue, all the outdoor ones are IKEA. There you go, man. They complement each other well. That's great to know. What is a good smart light bulb? I need 3 for my light fan. The ones that I've been using that I think are the brightest at this point, and I know I sound like an Aqara salesperson, but this is what I'm using in my house. The T2 bulbs. I like them. Just bring it up. It's driving me crazy that my button's not working since I reformatted. These, for their color ones, they are $20. These can be hooked up with Zigbee or Thread. Zigbee is just more responsive, in my opinion, using their hub. The Thread works well. It just Zigbee seemed like faster response. Big thing that helps them is the 75 watt equivalent. So you get an extra, what are they? I think they're 1,000 lumens, 1,100 lumens versus 800 in your typical light. The thing I see, blah, blah, words are hard. I'm going to drop a link in there for this. It's an affiliate link. If you use it, couple percentage points go back to the channel. No additional cost to you. I'm using one of I'm using their color one behind me. I like the saturated blue. That's a nice bright blue on a dark gray wall, and it pops. They do have their white light version that is, white light's great out of them. It has a nice balanced range. If I nitpicked it, next to Hue or Nanoleaf, they have a slight tint to the green side. And if you don't know lighting, lights can lean a little magenta or they can lean a little green. It's that on your TV, you'll see tint, and the setting goes from green to magenta. There's sometimes a little kick one way or another. Like even the projector that I did a video on, I would say it leans green, but that's my lighting professional nerd side. Like most people will never see that. You'll never notice it, but I spent 25 years doing lighting professionally for concerts, live events of every kind. I lit a plane before, so I have very sensitive eyes to color because of that. But yeah, I do like those. Can you drop your Discord link? Discord, I've kept Discord as just a channel member benefit. So that is, it's just the channel members only at this point. And I do a channel member live stream before this one. And I do the Discord, and I have been bad about making member-only content. But I try to be accessible for all those, the stream. So yeah, it costs you about $1.25 a stream. And you get that personalized attention. And then you got Discord. So would you recommend a Sonos Beam paired with HomePods over AirPlay as a home theater setup? You're not going to be able to pair them like that. You can go into AirPlay. Well, you could do AirPlay, and you could play it across the different, you could play multiple devices at the same time. So you could send it to the Sonos, you could send it to the HomePods, but they're going to be playing the same content. So it'd be the same as having two stereo speakers, just one behind, two behind you, two in front, or the Beam in front, but it won't give you that spread out sound like a home theater. It would be cool if Apple could implement that and connect up more devices. But the Sonos stuff works out great. I know Blake is one of longtime support of the channel, and he loves his Sonos stuff and says it sounds so great. Really enjoy the LED bulbs and Aqara ones. I think that's autocorrect. They're very reliable, but it really depends on what kind of fan you have. Yeah, and don't put smart dimmers on a fan ever, people. You want to have a switch. I agree the updates at iPad OS 26 are incredible. They really are. It's a game changer. It's my living room fan, no smart switch. Yeah, and if you're keeping the fan power to them, I like the Aqara ones. If you use Philip Hue, consider IKEA as an option. I like the fact you use an overhead microphone for your videos. Don't like it when you see the microphone blocking half the person's face. Yeah, I don't understand why people suddenly become a DJ when they're doing live streams. It's like the microphone that you make all your videos on could also be used for your video. And I don't understand the headphones either. I don't get it. You're like, okay, set your level. No, it works well. You like what you're hearing. Take them off and do your thing. Yeah, it's one of those things. I started off with the live streaming and the Shure SM7B, the expensive microphone, and then I would use it for gaming with my brother and stuff with the headset. And then I said, this is silly. I ended up getting the Logitech. This one was sent to me. It sounded so good that I just used one of these. And then I have a microphone overhead. Thank you, Blake. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. And again, I'm letting you guys know, if you go into the description, there's 2 more days left on the Aqara deals for the doorbell and the camera. And really, for me, it's, the cameras at $35 that work with all the smart assistants is the best value. It's like you got the pricing of Wise cameras, but you have that Apple Home side of things. So if you're an Apple Home user, that's the one thing that it's a good price. So I just mention it because there is that 15% discount. Question for everybody: what are your thoughts about Apple coming out with the foldable phone? I love the idea. I think it'd be awesome. There's times where it's like, okay, here's the cool little phone, but if you sit down and watch a YouTube video and you pop it open, that's one of the things I liked about the Google phone is you have to have a full-size outside screen. You should never have to use that inside screen for normal use. Everything should be a normal phone, and then you pop it open when you want to read a book, or you're watching a YouTube video, or you're on a web page and you want it bigger or full size. So yeah, I love the idea. I can't wait. The rumors are Apple TV that's actually a TV with their software, but it died off quickly, just like Apple Car. Yeah, it's just too much money to do. I wish they would put their software in partner up so that you can get an Apple TV in a Samsung TV or an LG OLED or something. I think the iPhone Fold as a first generation might wait and see the reviews, as first new product can sometimes be a bit sketchy, like when the first iPad, first Apple Watch. Yeah, definitely. First iPad's a great example. It went from this chunky thing to nice little thin thing. Same thing with the Kindle. It was a big old oblong, weird shaped thing, and then trapezoid. That's what I'm looking for. And then the next version was nice and slim. While I'm not personally likely to be excited to use a folding phone, I'm excited to see the investment in it because I think innovation will bleed into other aspects of the company. Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be great. After using the Google phone, and that's one of those things, it was sent to me for free, so it's easy to say, but seeing that benefit, I mean, like so many people are watching videos on their phone, and now to just have a bigger version of that, I could see picking up the iPad less because of that. But yeah, I'm there. I'd like to see it grow. I wish Amazon will let me use PayPal. I trust it. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, be proprietary. Yeah. First iPad had no cameras. It was night and day difference, man. And my sister bought my brother-in-law at the time a new iPad for Christmas. And then February is when I ordered my first iPad, the iPad 2, and it was just huge difference. Is there an easy way to send a YouTube link to Apple TV without AirPlay or YouTube history? What I've noticed is when I open the YouTube app on my TV, I've noticed that there's been there's been a notification that pops up in the YouTube app. I don't know what it is. I think that somehow, I don't know if it signs you in or what it does, but I thought it allows you to cast right from the YouTube app to get it there. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. You got to go through your history and stuff to find things. It's a little clunky, but I've caught myself since I stopped Hulu Live because it was up to $95 a month. I'm like, nah, that's enough. I've been watching more YouTube on my TV, and I see the notification, but I don't even read it. I'm like, I'm watching, and then it gives me some notification. And thank you, Bill 122. I am going to get out of here now. I should be all caught up. Question: has anybody noticed? I've noticed nothing. But yeah, I am going to get out of here in just a minute. I'll check here. And yeah, I'm all caught up there. So not too, well, 25 minutes over. It's kind of long. I'm punched in at work now. Bill, have a great day at work, and thank you for always being here. I appreciate it. It definitely starts me speeding up, and then I get caught up in something and slow down, but it makes me more aware, so I appreciate you for sharing that. NA, I mean, it's common sense just to sign in with your account. Yeah, I think the problem is when you're signed in on YouTube, it'll show you your subscriptions, but you got to go find it. But I think actually when you go to YouTube TV under your account, and it should stay signed in, at least mine does. I just have to click on my user because it'll show different accounts. But it defaults to like showing me the last video I was watching, or at least I thought so. YouTube gives a connect your device queries. Kirk, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And I heard about the car that drove into a crowd last night in LA, 21 injured. Yeah, I didn't hear about that one. That sucks. That's some anger, man. That's some anger doing that stuff. William, I noticed on Apple TV, I have not gotten the up next section. Is anyone experiencing this issue? I haven't, but definitely check and see if there's a software update. And think about the old classic unplug and plug it back in. See if it just needs a restart. Have a great weekend too, John. Thank you. And Gordon, thank you. I'm sure you've seen that I've logged in. I've been doing some more morning stuff, keeping it small and following along. It just drove me crazy during school hours. All the good runs would always seem to happen when I was taking my daughters to school. YouTube gives you the connect. Have a great weekend, everybody. And yeah, we're out of here. Bill, number 2 in comments. Yeah, it gives rankings now, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here for real. Thank you guys for being here. Have a great weekend. No video this weekend. I'm taking the weekend off, and then there'll be videos next week, and we'll do another live stream next week. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.